All right, welcome in. Chris Clark here, GamecockCentral.com. I'm joined by new South Carolina wide receiver Eddie Lewis, who is here in Columbia by way of New York originally. But come here from Memphis. So first of all, welcome in to the program, man. Glad you can join us tonight. Thanks for taking the time to be here.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So Gamecock fans have not heard from you, if I'm not mistaken, since you joined the program. So this is exciting. I know you're going to get to talk to fans, the media later this week, but glad we get this opportunity to kind of give everybody an early look at Eddie Lewis and what's been going on with you. So first of all, man, you've had an interesting path in college football, right? Going into your last year. For those that don't know, give us a little bit more, give us a little kind of behind the scenes of just how you got to South Carolina from high school all the way to the rest of your stops to here.
Out of high school, I went to Milford Academy for a semester. From there, started my college clock 2018 of the spring. Actually, it was the spring of 2018. Was there from 2018 to winter of 2019, where I went to JUCO in El Dorado, Kansas, Butler Community College. Had a great time there, met some good people, put up some good numbers. And then from there, I went to Memphis, and I was at Memphis for 2 years. Wound up graduating this past semester from Memphis and things like that. I mean, it was a good thing, and now I'm here. I'm ready to do games.
So you mentioned you graduated from Memphis, so graduate transfer. What went into the decision to go into the portal and try to find a home for your last season of college football?
Went to Memphis, had a great time in Memphis, like I said before. I felt like I did some good things there, and I gave myself the opportunity to be able to go out and test the waters a little bit more and find a place where I could compete for a national championship. Not saying I couldn't do it there, but I just wanted a new scene, somewhere to go and finish my last year up.
Now, when you did go into the portal, I know you took a visit to South Carolina. Give us a sense of what other schools you considered, whether, schools that reached out or places that you reached out to, or even places you went and visited during the process.
There was a few places that had reached out to me. The two I was actually interested in was here in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Wound up coming here. I mean, I don't want to get into talking about the schools or anything like that, but it was a great experience. Like being able to go back into the transfer portal, see other schools like harp on me and want me to come there and showcase my talent there at their school was a blessing. You feel me? It's always a blessing, and just to play the game is a blessing. So when I got the opportunity to come here, I came here, met with Coach Beamer, met with all the other coaches, Coach Limbo. Coach Limbo used to coach at Memphis, so we had like a mutual relationship through other people and things like that. So being able to meet with Coach Stepp, and then after a while, just having a conversation, and kind of that's where I was leaning towards. It's the SEC dream I had in mind my whole life since I was a young kid playing football. So it kind of worked out for the best in a sense.
Something that we always talk about in terms of recruiting is, it seems like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, the transfer portal recruitment, the second time around, is a little bit different maybe than high school or even junior college. It seems like maybe you're more hyper focused on a few specific things. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. That's what it was for me. For I wasn't into all the hoot and holler and all the taking pictures at other schools and all that stuff. I mean, that's fun. You feel me? That's what comes with it. It don't make no sense to not enjoy the process while you're going through it. But like you said, the second time around, I was more of a business decision, making sure I made the right strategic decision for me and my family to better my goal to go into the NFL at the end of the day. And that's what I want to do, and that's why I'm here.
You mentioned Pete Limbo and how you guys didn't cross over right at Memphis.
No, we didn't. But
barely missed each other.
I don't know.
Yeah. What have you heard about Coach Limbo? Because I want to dive in a little bit to your special teams background. You'll be working with him a lot. But what did you hear about him, and what did he hear about you maybe from people back at Memphis?
Well, while I was my time at Memphis, I heard a lot about him, just Coach Limbo, him being a great coach, the things he taught there. We kind of still was using his scheme when I first got to Memphis. Even the second year there, we were still using his scheme. But Coach Bank did a good job working with us and stuff like that. But it was nothing but good news. I could say when I was going through the recruiting process, Calvin Austin, which is a close friend of mine, he currently is on the Steelers or whatever. He went there, had a good relationship with Coach Limbo prior. I know that he had called me and Coach Limbo had called him just to ask about me and things like that. And when I first got on the phone call with Coach Limbo, that was the first thing he told me. Like, I just got off the phone with Calvin. He had nothing but good things to say about you. So like, what we doing here? And I'm like, all right. Like we started talking and like we kind of hit it off. Like we both from New York. He from Staten Island. So like we had that connection. So it was just a vibe. Like everything happened for a reason. I feel like, and that was one of that was a good situation to be in at the time when I was sitting there talking to him over the phone and when we got to meet in person during the visit.
Do you being from New York and then you've seen a variety of places, right? Like you've been out to Kansas, you've been here, been in Memphis. Do you have a preference now? Like, do you like more of like the New York lifestyle, or do you like here better? Like,
I'm always a city guy, man. I'm from Harlem, so like that's always gonna be my home. I rep it as much as possible. Even when people like, I went to high school in New Jersey, so like my address is like a little different. Like not my address, but like people thought my hometown was in Jersey. I thought I was from Middletown. I'll tell them shit up like, nah, bro, I'm from Harlem. Like I'm from New York. Like this is what it's about. So I'm a New York kid at heart, but I do love to travel. I do love to go around, meet different people, go different places and things like that. And this is another stop on my journey, just being in Columbia, learning new faces, meeting new people, and enjoying my time out here.
What have been your impressions overall since you've joined the team? I mean, I know you've gotten a taste of winter workouts, for instance, with Coach Day, and like being around the staff, being around your teammates. What have been your thoughts so far?
They're gonna push you. That's a definite. They're gonna push you. They're gonna push you to your limits. Test your manlyhood, and that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be about. Because at the end of the day, playing in the best conference that it is. So when you go out there on Saturdays, you got to be a competitor, and that's something that Coach Beamer preaches a lot, or whatever. Just being a competitor, learning how to compete, and it started in the weight room, and that's where it started at for me. Just jumping into the mix of things, coming here when I came, things like that. So I could speak on that a lot.
Now, I'm sure you know that South Carolina has lost Josh Vann from last year's team. Josh was a starting receiver for them. He's also a starting punt returner for them and did a really nice job. So you can do, obviously, both of those things with your skill sets. Let's take those one step at a time. You as a receiver, I know you can play inside, you can play outside. For those that haven't seen you play, give us a little preview of your game and what Carolina fans are going to see on the field this season.
I'm a playmaker at the end of the day. That's what I surround my game around, just being able to make a play, consider myself a spark for any team that I'm on at the end of the day. So like you said, I could play inside, I could play outside. You're gonna see me in a return game. So I mean, I don't like to make predictions, but I do got a good feeling about this one, like which I always have. Every place I've been at, I feel like I've did some good work, and this is my last year, so I'm going all in. I'm putting all the chips in and just trying to make something shake.
All right, you as a punt returner, obviously last season you did some really good work there. You had a 60-yard punt return touchdown. You had a few other games where you sprung some longer returns, and going to have an opportunity to win that job and run with it too. So how excited are you to work with Pete Limbo now?
I'm hip. I ain't gonna lie, I'm hyped. Like I said, I ain't had nothing but good things about him, man. When we got to talking and things like that, it was nothing but, hey, look, we looking to do this, we looking to do that. All I need you to do is be consistent. You feel me? And that's a big thing of mine, just being consistent. I actually got a tattoo on the back of my ear, just consistency. So, like, us having that conversation and knowing where his head is at and knowing how he sees me as a player, like I said, I'm all in. I'm ready to make some plays for him, not only for him, but for the offense as well. And I've been building a great rapport just with the team in general. So I'm having a great time overall. And I feel like everybody loving me as much as I'm loving them. So it's going to be a sight to see, obviously. We got the spring game coming up. We got spring ball actually coming up soon. So I'm excited, man. I'm ready to get to work, put the ball in the air, make some plays.
What have you thought of Shane Beamer and his, I know you got to get to know him a little bit during the recruiting process, but maybe not be around him as much kind of in both of your elements. So what have you thought of his leadership style and just what direction he's taking the program in?
I feel like he's a great coach, great down-to-earth guy, somebody that's relatable. He played the sport. He was in the sport, so he knows what he's talking about in a sense. And just as far as off the field, he holds us to a standard. It's not that many rules in the building, but we got things that we abide by, and we got a standard. And it's like, if you're not meeting that standard, you got to pick it up. And not only are you representing yourself, you represent your last name, you represent South Carolina football at the end of the day. And we in Columbia, and football is a big thing here. So people going to know you where you go. So you just got to hold yourself to that standard. Be a stand-up guy at the end of the day. And that's literally what he preaches every time we have a meeting and things like that. So, I mean, he's down to earth. And when I got to speak with him one-on-one, he's a family guy. He wants to preach that to his teammates, and just us being a family, having a good rapport, things like that. So,
who are some of the guys that you have leaned on to maybe? I know you've been playing college ball a while. It's not like you're a freshman or anything walking in here, but who are some of the guys that you've leaned on and kind of gotten to know pretty well since you've gotten here to show you the ropes in Columbia?
First person is my roommate, Juice Wells. I know you know that name.
Yeah.
Good guy, funny guy. We just had a bunch of laughs in here talking. Feel me? We done been around the game for a while. He didn't transfer from JMU, stuff like that. Also went prep too. So, I mean, him along is mainly my receivers for real. So Xavier Leggett, I was actually with him this past weekend. A lot of people. I could go down the list. Spence was one of the first people that came up to talk to me when I first got here, like literally in workouts. Got Marcellus, which is a DB, DB. Like I could go down the list. It's like I said, they loving me as much as I'm loving them, and when I came in, they accepted me with open arms, and it's just been a sight to see for real for me. I'm excited for what else is to come, and just like I said, just keep building the rapport with the guys. I know I sound repetitive and things like that, but I've been here for a month, and it's like I feel like it's been a little bit longer than that, honestly.
Mm-hmm. All right, so a few off the field things now before we let you go. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Yeah, I was a basketball player.
I knew you were going to say. I had a feeling. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I'm serious though. Like, you can call around and go ask, but that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But I'll play ball. I ran track in high school.
Okay.
So that was pretty much it. Just football, and I played baseball when I was young. That was actually the first sport I actually played, like organized sport, was baseball. After baseball, it was basketball, and then from basketball, it turned into football. And then I got into track when I got into high school and stuff like that.
What was your track event?
The 200 and the 100. And I ran the 4. So I started off in the 2 and the 1, and then like midway through my freshman year, I started running the 4. And then I kind of did well. Football obligations kind of came in between that. So it was like I had to pick a sport that I was going to go in, and it was obviously football. So you've
been paying attention any to the internal debate on the team about the speed with
the fastest person on the team?
Yeah.
I don't really get into that for real. I mean, we're gonna see though. I heard we're supposed to be having a little something going on, so that's for the fans to wait on and things like that. But I'm
gonna have a little race. Okay.
I don't know if I'm being that though. I'm gonna just keep it a being with you. But if I am, I'm definitely gonna compete though.
Well, Spencer, we asked Spencer about it, and he said he was out. He said he could only put down like a 12 in the 100, so he was going to sit that one out.
We got some fast guys on the team though. Like we got some good speed. Good speed on the team.
I mean, Nick Eamon-Worry. I mean, you saw the clip of him racing AB.
I seen that race. Me and Nick is in the same lift group too. That's another guy that I built a good rapport with. He's actually in my locker area, so we got locker columns. He's in my locker column. See him every day, talk to him every day. So, but yeah, that boy be moving though.
He can.
He got some speed on him.
No, it was funny you brought up basketball though. So every player that we have asked so far with these types of interviews, all of them play basketball, and we ask them all who their starting 5 is from the team. I don't know if you have that yet. You probably haven't had enough time.
Listen, I want to go play ball with some guys on the team. Okay. I'm just picky though. I don't like going to play ball. I don't like going to play ball with people that really don't play basketball. You're not
gonna have that problem. They all claim to play and be really good. So
we'll find out sooner or later though.
Spencer has his starting 5. Boogie Huntley has a starting 5. It's kind of scary. It was all big men.
Yeah. Boogie athletic though. Boogie athletic. I was with Boogie this past Sunday. We was playing walking football like outside, just getting some work in, just being able to move around and stuff like that, not stay stagnant. and things like that. We was at the facility. We had got some recovery, and then like in between the recovery, we was doing that. But yeah, Book athletic though.
Very. He had a scary team too. So yeah, y'all keep us updated on that. You gotta eventually get your team together and give us your starting five. We're gonna come back and ask you. Maybe
we could have that. We can make that happen.
We got to do that for sure. All right, give us some food takes now. We got to ask about food too. Ooh. Yeah, give us something from New York that we don't really have down here. Maybe.
All right, so like it's a spot called Grinny's. It's a Spanish restaurant. It's like a little hole in the wall.
Oh,
fire. It's uptown by my house. I live on 138th. It's like. Well, it's on 142nd, I believe. Yeah, facts. 142nd and Lenox, between Lenox and 7th Avenue. So for the outside of New Yorkers that don't really know where New York is, that's between Malcolm X Boulevard and Adam Clayton Powell or whatever. So like street signs.
Okay.
About that. But there you got Sisters on 124th and Madison Avenue. That's actually a family's friend restaurant of mine. My grandmother, close friend, that's her restaurant. We got a lot of spots. I ain't gonna lie. Corner store is one of the go-to spots ever. Go get a chopped cheese.
That's what I was gonna ask. So what's the dish? I know about the chopped cheese. I've seen that. What about what's your dish? Like, what's your signature? Go-to actual meal, yeah.
Well, like I said, I'll probably go to Sisters, some Caribbean food, or you got King's like right by me. It's a Jamaican restaurant, so I'm heavy on like the rice and peas, collard greens, cabbage, oxtails, stewed chicken, whatever. Man, I love to eat though, so I ain't gonna be picky. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. I love to eat.
Well, all right. So natural segue into, the nutrition at South Carolina. We see all the videos. We don't get to eat the food like y'all do, but it looks pretty outstanding. Y'all have a lot of options over there.
A lot of options. I actually got some sliders in the oven right now. I'm about to body those when we get done. All right. We got a wide variety of things. We get the chance to come to the facility, cook on our own, make some food. They give us like recipes that we could also use on our own when we're home, stuff like that. So the nutrition staff does a great job. I done gained some weight since I've been here. It's good weight though, but
good weight.
That's to help with it. The nutrition staff does their job and things like that with keeping us fueled, hydrated, and eating right.
All right, so Eddie, I know I don't want, now that you mentioned those sliders, I don't want to keep you much longer, so you can go hit those. But last thing for you, as you said, about to get in spring ball here. We're at the end of February 2023. Next month, y'all are diving into spring ball. What's a couple goals that you have for yourself, and they can relate to the team as well, that you want to have accomplished by the time you guys finish spring ball and get into the spring game?
Definitely just establishing myself on all facets while I'm on the field. Like I said, proving that I am that playmaker, proving that I am a guy that could be great in the return game, be a starter here, fighting for that starting spot, because that's essentially why I came here, to fight for a starting spot. Not only from a receiver standpoint, but also from a special team standpoint, or whatever. Like I said, Coach Beamer preaches competing, and that's something I'm good at, and that's something I always do since I was young, compete. So definitely that. Off the field wise, like I said earlier, being consistent, and I know that's easy to say and cliche, but you got a routine, you got a way of doing things, and just trying to empty the tank every day. Feel me? And empty the tank in a good way, and also like progress while you're emptying that tank. So not only being consistent and telling myself like, yo, this is what I'm going to do this week, but also next week, all right, moving up to the next level, trying to be better than what I was last week. So essentially, you can say the 1% getting better, but it's a work in progress and things like that. And it's something that I've been trying to work on for a while. Since I became a senior, which was last year, that was something I was harping on big. And now this year, I got another view, a different atmosphere. So I'm just trying to build on that.
All right, great stuff, Eddie. Hey, for those of you watching, this interview, of course, brought to you by Garnet Trust. To learn more about them, what they're doing on the NIL front for South Carolina student athletes, how they're connecting you with Gamecock student athletes, visit GarnetTrust.com so you can support. Eddie, great stuff from you, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you in spring ball, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Definitely. Talk to you soon, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.